And I like that they don't go for Anubis again this time, just because G2 managed to pull it back and make it interesting when all was said and done. But we're getting live, we're getting ready. Overpass T-side start, G2 a lot to do if they want to survive against these underdogs again. At this point, are they even underdogs? FUT don't seem to believe so. G2 making sure no plans are being hatched. Holding off on middle. FUT lean in for a gamble of their own. And G2 look to avoid it.
Yeah, they're departing from that stack and going into the two-man B hold. You have a block smoke on Jugs, but he would have to get that in sooner rather than later. G2 won't be respecting it. So they're going to use this close. An old Na'Vi smoke dropped on in. Demon backstab, only good for one on the dual Berettas. Jugs trying to hide out in this util. Full blind at the hand of his teammates. Attempting to play it through, will get out with his one. Down to a retake now, bomb yet to go down. G2 scrambled looking for gunfights. No one's yet plugged in these numbers. And Symmetry with a chance to punish. Squeezes one past. Nerds head on a swivel as he's thrust into the clutch. Nails the first two, but pincered as they come from all sides. FUT secure themselves a pistol round. A hard-fought battle down towards B. And a chance to get off to a good start on this CT half.
I love everything about that pistol. That was messy from the get-go. G2 getting deep past FUT. Bomb lost in the site. Nothing they can do. And what a squeeze for Symmetry. Coming in on short. Just runs past the Glock and manages to deny that bomb. It is a ice-cold clutch here from Krabetti to kick off this game. And FUT get loud off the pistol win as G2 with no money still forced by. Delay boost peak, Demon does damage. Ouch. And lots of info here from FUT off the rip. They even find the wallbang. Oof. How monster they go. SMGs should be fine and well contained by Launks. No problems here in this second round to convert.
Going to be keeping a close eye on Nerds in this series because it was versus this FUT squad at the tail end of stage 2 that, well, sorry, had the chance to go flawless through stage 2. He had his worst performance in at the major thus far by quite some margin. And it felt like a little bit of a fire underneath him. Since that point, he's been super solid, been having high impact moments across all of their games. And so this is, you know, a shot at redemption early on in stage 3. The guy to get boosted there. Point to prove as he goes toe-to-toe with Krabetti. Ends in a stalemate. You're just trying to dodge any Deeg picks in this round if you're FUT.
Krabetti keen to get involved. More than capable rifler. Forced into captaincy. Happy to lead. Nice shot though, Hunter. Banger off the Deeg. Back into a 4v4. G2 look to take a gap. Heavy God searching. Lots of noise made on A, which only gives room for Heavy God. Jukes is rotating right now, and Demon luckily clears that position. Smart head on his shoulders. will not let G2 exploit. And now just regrouping and hoping they can find that solo player.
Jukes has moved back in to join him. With no smoke to cut off Heaven, he will get to be a part of all of these fights as they try and move into B. Even now he's repositioned. Get himself in the sight, holding for this short walkout. You've seen the bomb monster. No illusion what's happening here. If you're FUT, this should just be a clean sweep finish. 3 from Demon. Most important is that first one, just stopping the Heavy God crawl out through Monster.
All right, G2, this is what it's come down to. First gun round in round 4. Force got them nowhere. And no AWP for SunPayus, who certainly had trouble yesterday against Falcons. Be keeping an eye on him in that second half. Symmetry down on B with his weapon of choice. And G2 make a lot of noise getting mid-control. Krabeni uses all of his util to slow this push at G2, and that's because we have this quad stack down lower. Eventually, he'll need support. Calling a B push. Util to support.
Going to join up and go for this B play. And Jugs, this aggressive push out towards short, able to grab that first kill. He's got support from Demon close by. Don't need to overextend here. You got a double setup, crossfires established. Jugs not able to get that trade. Heavy God comes through with another opening. And so the B side taken. Lork scrambling for the rotation is whittled down on his Heaven push. And the nade from Nerds deals that killing blow.
That's a big whiff from Jukes as they come out connector there. Really needed to find Nerds. Banger hit by Nerds. Onto the triple kill on low health. Had no business getting that second frag. And G2 well called to slow down after Mattis comes through the smoke and reflash that position, knowing the FUT had numbers there. So kills get offered up and G2 take them willingly. First round on the board. Orb completely lost on the timing as they get out Monster as well. So if SunPayus wants it, they can pick it up. But decides against it for now.
Terrorists win.
Last time these teams went ahead, 5-0 lead for FUT into a 7-round T-side streak for G2. Main thing for FUT now is, you didn't build up quite the same early momentum. You don't want G2 to begin their streak early on this T-side. That's going to cause you a whole heap of problems. For now, you've got one more buy to try and stave that off.
And with an AWP as well, with a lot of money off those first 3-round wins. So you get to right your wrongs in this 5th round. Wonder if G2 will be ready for an AWP. Quick to mid. Symmetry here. Oh, that's awkward. He just saw them too late.
Makes up for it the second time around, and Symmetry securing that 4-on-4.
Might just send G2 into an early B hit here, just trying to avoid that AWP, but spotting Hunter get into the connector. Look at FUT on the minimap. They've just double dropped down. Lorx has pushed all the way up long. They're going to retake A if they make the wrong call, but it looks like they're on the money.
Yeah, that spot is just massive, isn't it? Positions them that much better here, ready to receive this B play. Util now raiding in, and they know they've made the right read. Lork's picking up some speed on his backstab. How much time can his teammates buy? Demon out in the open, burns alive. Util would be big here. Jukes is the guy with the nade. It gets lobbed in, but doesn't find anything. It's all dependent on this Lonks backstab, offering up a multi-kill. First connects. SunPayus goes back to try and deal with him. Left to Symmetry. They hand it off to their AWP. Mattis and Hunter, they haven't got this bomb planted yet. There's 15 seconds, and they're trying to force a fight out of Symmetry. That's exactly what they wanted. Mattis rounds it out with a big old 3K, and G2 take back-to-back rounds, breaking FUT's money.
Yeah, I love that move in the 2v1. They do not prioritize the plant. They know the pressure's on Symmetry, and his best time to go is when one player is busy with the bomb. So tries to isolate, gets his kill, but G2 trade it well. Still, FUT make the right read, right? They make the right rotation. They just get over-committed inside of that Molotov. Would have been fine for Demon to completely give it up. Felt like he had the element of surprise on that swing. A little bit of info given away by G2. Look at what FUT do with it. Surely some familiarity between these teams, having just played the other day. But G2 survive. They weather down this buy, and it's flat pistols in round 6. No problem for G2. Cleanup crew is in, and Coolio calls a timeout. We heard some harsh words from him the other day in that G2 game, requesting a lot of energy.
I mean, there's likely, a bit of frustration. You will have come into this knowing there's a very high likelihood Overpass makes another appearance, what with how decisive the G2 win on it was. So you've likely gone away from that, tried to extrapolate what you can from the demo. So likely know the changes.
Listen, I don't want to see this happen anymore. I don't give a fuck. Don't fucking rotate A for no reason. No one called for rotation. Stay fucking B together. Don't rotate. And Cemetery, if I say hold mid, you are holding middle. You don't need to change con. I can hear the guy connector when he fucking coming up.
Oh, he has a point though, doesn't he? That timing that the Symmetry looked away from mid. That's what he's talking about. It did get him killed. And FUT, feeling the over-rotations have let them down. It did leave them out of position on B, so understandable situations lost here by FUT, and it might get worse. There's only one man left at this B site.
Juke's able to get gun on, but the challenge is far from over. They're blistering out through short, and he can't stop it. There's a AAA lean, and so save called. We're back to streak territory here for G2. That's 4 in a row.
Oh yeah, they're running away now. Beautiful half already established here from G2, and it's bound to get better. And it's so interesting to hear that, calm so early from FUT, the frustration coming in, and understandable because a couple of butchered situations. And now G2 making out like bandits.
And it's frustration coming from the IGL, right? As we were alluding to, you will have combed over the demo, you will have looked at rounds you messed up, things you did wrong last time you played this, and would have come into today thinking you can right your wrongs, right? You've learned a lot, looking to implement that, but it's just not working right now for this FUT squad. You're seeing some harsh words get exchanged, with G2 now pulling into the lead on the far harder half.
Yeah. Great start to the game for G2. Got to be feeling pretty invincible, knowing they've done this before and they're looking to do it again in even better fashion. Only offering up pistol and conversion so far in this map and winning some difficult positions as well. Nice try on the B side for Jukes, but left alone. And now eco around these 3 saved rifles.
Oh, timing for Krabeni. They come right through that. And so that's going to force him down into the connector. No one in A. Krabeni trapped down here in con, and he's trying to force a fight out of this. Has Mattis trapped, won't get past him.
Love that. Mattis just shook his head. No, 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 you're not getting away with that. Mollied him forward. Long control taken here by G2. They're looking very confident. That's the one thing I'll say about G2, right? They were able to take it to the Falcons yesterday, sure, feeling like they fumbled the close, could have won that game. But all in all, they were neck and neck across that entire series. With a nice win on Inferno, with an overtime on Ancient. So G2 are playing confident Counter-Strike at this tournament. And it's a lot of fun when these players are feeling it.
Spotted out here on Long, but you've got to deal with him quickly or else this problem just gets worse. Long now open, Symmetry looking forward, trying to contain the short spillover. The A-hole that just gets picked apart piece by piece.
Man, you get nerds off Liquid and look what you get. This guy's just so reliable. You mentioned his couple of quiet games he has definitely had in G2, but it's the exception to the rule. 2 kills just handed to him on a plate, and he does not miss his shots.
It genuinely feels like after that loss at the hands of FUT on Ancient, the one where he managed, I think it was 2 kills in the entire map.
Yeah.
He kind of just said to himself, like, this is not happening again throughout this major run. I don't think he ever wants to feel that lost in a map of Counter-Strike. He was getting hard counted in mid, used to be his stomping ground on Ancient. Well, and past that point, he's been phenomenal. He's had tremendous impact in these games.
Map 2 is going to be great, and knowing we have Ancient guaranteed in this series and that FUT are picking into it, I can't wait to see what that has in store, given how one-sided it was. But it was off of CT last time. The FUT got 9 rounds. It's bound to be more competitive. Oh, careful. Bit of leg shown, and Heavy got almost. Finds a 5v4 for G2. Matt is clearing connector. He's put the fear on Krebeni. Not going to be here anymore. Orp on Long. Symmetry has to fall back eventually. Krebeni is tucked into toilet side. And FUT is shuffling on B, changing to a passive setup, giving away monster control. Seeming a little shaky right now for FUT. Great timing for Krebeni. Long's almost rotated, but they've learned their lesson.
Heavy got unable to get that opening. And now things do get tricky for G2. 5-round streak getting called into question here. Missed shot from SunPayus. And Hunt unable to break through Monster's side. Leaves you trying to save. Krebeni will not let that happen. The captain gives chase. And 5-round streak broken. Can FUT stumble back into this CT half?
That's at least a clean round, so FUT don't feel the immediate pressure that G2 can add on this T side. The streak broken is something here. Given a lot more room on A. Symmetry and Krebeni go back for more in middle. This is a fake out for G2. They're going for an early B hit. Even mollying Divider. They're really trying to sell a presence at this point. So Krebeni's push is massive. It gives away everything. It tells FUT what's going on. Reblock comes in a B. Does G2 still want to do it?
Looks like it. Smokes go in. Flashes from Hunter. And this B hit taking shape. Mattis entry to get the ball rolling. Trade back for Nerds. It's only Lonks left in the site. Symmetry is closing in. Gonna try and join him around the CT side. But you gotta buy him a couple of seconds. Arriving too late. G2 get in, and now SunPayus on that line shuts the AWP out of it.
It looks like FUT didn't even believe what they saw, right? They saw a full A fake on Divider molly, toilet smoke, all these flashes coming over. Then they push through mid and they realize no one's home. Symmetry is walking back through toilets. They were not certain that B hit was coming in, but G2 just jump. FUT, sure, they use their util, they try and block, but G2 no fear on this T side at this point. Just popping out B with flashes off spawn in a gun round. FUT's clean round previously allows the rebuy again, as I said, but G2 are off to the races. 6 T-side rounds, more in store. They could get 8 if they win this one.
And again, just this B charge being a real pressure point for G2 throughout this T side. Never letting these B players get comfortable for even a moment. Mattis up next, arrives on short, but spotted on the cross. So finally repelling one of these early B hits out of G2.
Double peek is huge.
For Benny. That's a free kill delivered to SunPayus. Symmetry's also floating around down here in Con. Not really where you'd expect to find him. Sure, he's playing with Krebeni over towards mid, but you certainly could overlook Connector with Krebeni already out of the round.
Yeah, it just means that A is entirely open. If FUT get a triple flank, they need to start moving together. When they clear up B, they need to start getting backup toilets. G2 are gaining massive space, but they have to wait for that bomb on long. That slows the roll. FUT still aren't certain, but 2 players moving in the right direction. And this molly will give it away. G2 will get the bomb plant.
Nats goes back, holds on to the connector and spots that second player. That is massive info for Nerds. SunPayus now takes that line, and a third player playing it forward. Spam connecting, doesn't matter. SunPayus head on a swivel. Rounds out a strong half on this T side, a winning half, 7-4 up. And a chance at even more.
Yeah, it's great shots for SunPayus, but I can't believe Nerds, after throwing at util, instantly checks his flank. We were wondering if they'd be ready for Connector being corrupted. Well, they certainly are. Instant turnaround for Nerds. All the info, the round-winning info. And G2 are looking extremely comfortable on Overpass.
Just never feeling like they're out of a round. I mean, that's a 2v4 save from G2. I think it all starts with Benny, the captain, giving that kill away.
Oh, this one or that one? Another misspray.
Oh man, long side. Might get lulled into a peak here, and that's exactly what SunPayus wants.
Do it. Easy. SunPayus not missing a beat.
You can tell just G2 feels so comfortable in forcing these reactions, forcing these moves out of FUT. They're almost aware of the moves FUT are going to make before FUT are at this point. That long push kind of hanging around, baited into it by the reload.
Love the patience here in last round of the half, 5v3. This 8th round makes a hell of a lot of difference. So G2 just sit back. They wait for FUT to make another mistake. Oh, again, the info. This time Hunter doesn't know they spotted him. Symmetry sees him running back to T-spawn. You have to full stack B now. You have no choice. Matt is patient in the connector. Kill's coming his way. Can't connect it. How rushed are they feeling? Oh.
God, fires off a little too soon. Wrestling with that AK. It's the presence of a second man catching him off guard. 2 entries down at lower. Still here, spotted and iced out on the short side. G2 with a point to prove in this grudge match from stage 2. They cement one hell of a T side, 8-4 up on their map pick.
listen quick to what I say. I only say it once, no time to play. When it's face to face and I'm in the game, I'm a different beast in a different state of mind. Cause I took my time and I stuck with the grind, now the gold is mine. While you're getting left behind, don't call me son, but watch me shine. One shot is all I had to make it all back. You don't wanna see the aftermath. You don't wanna see the aftermath. One shot is all I had to make it all back. Now I just can't help but laugh, cause you're the one that's coming in last. I'll never quit. It's do or die, and I'm not dead. I'll never quit. It's do or die, and I'm not dead. Yeah. Every time I hop up on stage, gotta get loose, let out my rage. Spent so much time in that cage, about to break out and go insane. Who wanna get it? Step to me, better bring a medic. Doubted me and I ain't forget it. Didn't start this, but watch me end it. One shot is all I had to make it all back. You don't wanna see the aftermath. You don't wanna see the aftermath. One shot is all I had to make it all back. Now I just can't help but laugh, cause you're the one that's coming in last. I'll never quit. It's do or die, and I'm not dead. I'll never quit. It's do or die, and I'm not dead. Yeah. I'll never quit. It's do or die, and I'm not dead. I'll never quit. It's do or die, and I'm not dead. Yeah.
Frustrations for FUT. They have a repeat matchup here and a repeat map, hoping to change the result or things actually get worse for them. Last time it was 7-5 at the end of G2's T side. This time they sit even prettier, up 8-4. This is all the while Nerds is topping the charts. Hunter, the captain of G2, in behind him, and a runaway T side puts them in a great place on Overpass.
Listen, guy, I can see you were a bit annoyed by some rounds, but fucking let it go, okay? Not everything needs to be said. No, the most important, okay?
It's fine.
Focus. We need to have good atmosphere, okay? This was near perfect half. It's important we have good atmosphere. You lift each other up, no matter what happens. No matter.
G2 wanting more, but with an 8-round T side on Overpass, it feels like it's hard to complain. Looking to perfect this map, looking to end it quickly as a pistol round comes charging into A. Nerds has to concede. 4 CTs all at the door. No one has gone through. They're going to do it together.
Now onto a retake here. Juke's very, very late. Him and Heavy God having a completely separate fight to everyone else in the round.
Ooh.
Juke's going to close on that Heavy God backstab. That's what G2 were waiting for before the retake got going. Entries come flying through for FUT as G2 look to get turned away at the door. Demon light on his feet, and it's a bloody good thing too. SunPayus couldn't get his bearings. It's a pistol round for FUT.
All right, let's throw another pistol in the ring for FUT and see if they can actually make this map interesting, because it's been a blowout so far. And that's with 3 rounds off their pistol first time. They won a single buy round in this game, FUT. That'll give them a fighting chance on this T side. Hyped all the same.
And when you do contextualize it like that, it makes you wonder what G2 were even feeling frustrated about at the end of that first half. This would be like winning the 2nd best prize on the lottery. You're still, you know, $1 million up. it's a fantastic place to find yourself.
I think it's
They
also
wanted even more than that.
I think part of it is G2, like maybe they're not super worried about Overpass, but they know in this series it's still going to be an uphill battle. Map like Ancient is going to be difficult. Decider on Mirage is bound to be hectic if we get there. And so, got to save your energy. Got to get this map done quick. Well, now G2 left to a force buy. And back turn, not blind. SunPayus hits a beautiful headshot.
Oh, and you're so tunnel visioned on him, you're going to overlook the rest of them because there's more than just one man waiting in these toilets. SunPayus, they still don't know about Nerds up close, and that MP7 closes in real fast. This is a force buy 4v1. Jugs trying to turn heads, but he better turn his own because Hunter's hot on his heels with this backstab. Nade nearly finishes the job. And Spam will do it at the hands of Nerds.
Every single time FUT feel like they've cleared the corner, there's another man around the next. Perfect setup from G2. FUT just stumble into 4 players in toilets and get absolutely mopped up. Flushed away. Pistol round in vain as G2 win the force. And it's FUT on their back foot, buying back in, trying to survive in this game. Nerds MP7 before it was cool. Still looking good in this CT side.
Now they'll force buy back with one of their own. SunPayus hangs around for the spam, and they have closed in up through short as a result. That was the opportunity to catch him on the retreat. Now that's sailed on past. Still, you've closed in pretty quickly on this A play. You got one smoke for Jugs. Pistols chomping at the bit to get involved. No flashes can prove to be a bit of a problem in this A play. You have a way of knocking these guns off of their long sight lines. And so these crossfires get to maintain for G2. Won't be feeling any pressure.
Oh no.
It's the first to leave the nest here. Goes on a solo venture and catches the perfect window. That's the bomb dropped. Both players dead on short. Leaves all of these 3 guys at long, running in to the waiting guns of G2.
I'm sure the setup was strong on A. It didn't feel like there was ever a hope for FUT anyway, but the fact that they're both holding that corner, then they both turn away, and that's when the push comes in from Matters. That's where frustration brews. And man, it's going to be boiling right now. 10-5. No money left for FUT. Time for G2 to just stomp out this map. And doing it even more one-sided than last time. What a statement from G2. Glocks run amok. And Nerds has earned some ecos, I'd say.
I think for FUT now, the goalposts almost have to move, like hoping that you can come back here on the T side. I think it's just wishful thinking. G2 showing a real mastery on this map. And so I feel like maybe the goal is just feel like you've at least had the chance to play, right? Get a couple of rounds on the board, kind of warm into the series, because it's clear there were frustrations off the rip. We heard as much from the Krebeni comms just a couple of rounds into this game. And so, you know, you're already taking this round by round. Just feel like you were at least in the conversation a little in this second half. Don't get clean swept.
SunPayus AWP on this CT side. He was stable on the T half as well, had a couple multi-kills. FUT walking into his crosshair numerous times. Well, there was definitely trouble yesterday for SunPayus. This one is looking like a much stronger start. But more pace, smoke the molly, get that playground control, and they get it quick. It's G2 throw their default util, but have to play safe because they're heavy B. Nuts in the connector. Demon giving him nothing. FUT taking the space. They could get right past SunPayus. Look at them go. Oh,
no way!
That's sick.
I mean, that is just a tilter, isn't it? You feel like you've got all this room. You know you have the room. You hear SunPayus running back to site, and he's able to get the shot off in time. No, he isn't necessarily ready for his second man, but Hunter certainly is. Eyes on at long. Ooh. Sure doesn't get the kill, but at least it's info for SunPayus, who now has to pick a battle. Does he go back and look for long or scrap forward? Teammates in connector gonna try and alleviate some of this pressure. Nerds, Mattis, they hear the footsteps in middle. They hear a man coming back through the fountain. They catch Jukes for free, and SunPayus is still just throwing down the gauntlet. Won't let them into A. Symmetry closed out after one, and there's the crushing blow. FUT's one rifle round on this T side is dealt with ease.
Yeah, FUT are cooked there. The last player coming up mid, Jukes, it doesn't even look at connector. They knew Nerds was there. They'd already scrapped with him earlier in the round. They heard him come up the stairs. Demon was calming that, it looked like. They were absolutely aware the connector had opponents in, and Jukes just runs into middle late. So comms are crumbling now for FUT. Mistakes getting made. G2 have every player in the right place, and FUT are just walking into stack after stack. Might get worse here. Another four-man B hold for G2 and FUT right there at the gate. What a beating here from G2, and this might get worse.
Yeah, Heavy God is barely to be involved in this game at 5 and 9. But a chance now in what is the likely final round on Overpass. Heavy God, mow down required, dead straight away. That's his followed up onto Jukes double entry. SunPayus AWP slows the roll. They got to now drop some util in, try and get him off this line, because that AWP is a problem. He keeps them a little claustrophobic, and Hunt has been able to dart out, finding one in the chaos. Behind here, Lorx gets that spot, but not the kill. That's ludicrous. Out of Hunter. SunPayus isn't missing either on this retake, and as they close in, G2 right their wrongs. Retake secured. You want to believe you learn from your mistakes on the back of losses. FUT lost this map hard last time. Came in hoping a course correct, hoping a day would be different, and it was. Even more dominant win for G2 on Overpass to kickstart this series. Went on to lose it in 13-4 fashion. Super one-sided. Absolutely wrecked by the FUT squad. Nerds was getting hard counted out towards middle, was barely a footnote in that game, finishing at 2-14. And since that point, he's been on fire across the tournament. This is his chance at redemption. It's FUT's pick. They're starting things off on the T side.
Going to be a different game today, seeing their offensive half. G2, full armor in this pistol, and a gamble call coming out of spawn. Double donut, double main. Retake on B with no kit makes it difficult, and it will be that retake because FUT throwing nades into this site, sneaking through cave. G2 have very good timing, worth noting, and as this util lands, they know they're right on the money. Bomb plot are going to be allowed here, but they check their flank, and Hunter's not even considering it. Does not look around the corner. Jukes double should win this round. You mentioned both pistols for G2 last time they played despite a 13-4 scoreline. Well, it was both against the Falcons yesterday. Still, they lost that game in OT. Shocking shots from SunPayus. Could this really be cause for concern? Yes, it is. Triple headshot from the Spanish AWP, and he moves up as well. Back turn for more.
Demon's now so low. Demon needs help. He's dead straight away. Surely not. G2, that is crazy.
That's impossible. That's a 3v5 with nothing to assist them.
Yeah, SunPayus, little glance at the camera, knows this one's all about him. That 3K coming out of nowhere from G2's AWPer.
They were like hesitantly going for that, and then kills just kept falling into their lap. What shots here from SunPayus. The third down on the door player. Feels like an unnecessary fight. And then Ramp not even turning around, not even looking over his shoulder. SunPayus shocked they made it that easy. And frustrations for FUT that were very much apparent on that previous map look to go on. What on earth? All right, well, FUT got the space. They want it again.
Pop, Heavy God lies in wait, as does Mattis, getting baited for by Heavy God and SunPayus in a long, short crossfire. They will find SunPayus. Oh, and Jukes on the smoke spam brings him in with that double. Been a man down in the retake before, but this time feels different. Krabeni taking long space. Chance to just drive a knife in the back of G2 before this even gets going. Where's the gun gone for Nerds? He had to go and retrieve that. I mean, he's hanging around like he's still interested, but does want to try and slink on out of here. It's a save called out of G2.
Oh.
That double entry from Jukes doing the heavy lifting right into their setup, right into this triple crossfire, and two of them die before they can even see what's happening.
Can you believe that they lose the pistol and then just go right back for a B hit like that and make it look easy? Even looking to hunt this kill at the end as well. Nerds is not guaranteed in this position. Not ready for main. Krabeni takes a second, and FUT on the board early. That is going to make the difference because, yeah, as I mentioned, these two games where these last two games where G2 lose out on Ancient despite pistol wins and conversions. So now losing in the second round, going to throw G2 through a loop.
Don't overthink about our Ancient City. It's been good. It was good yesterday.
Just small details.
Yeah,
Details.
let's continue on it, okay? And we don't need to play perfect CS, but what we need to do is keep fighting, okay?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go now. Let's get it.
That is G2 all over, right? Not always perfect CS, but when these players are feeling it, they can make the unwinnable possible. SunPayus in that pistol, the prime example.
I think the thing that does just feel a little rough, though, is there's absolutely no getting away from, like, this drags you back to the memory of the last time you played, doesn't it, right? Where you won the pistol, you would lose the conversions. It's a mirrored start to your CT half. Heavy God trying to change that. Deeg connects.
Well, some of these individuals feeling a lot better than the other day here for G2. Say, banging headshots.
And a B-stack promptly taking shape with players closing in out Heaven side. They're going to try and pressure Krabeni as well to get out with one. The G2 are collapsing upon this B play. Rush through the smoke out of SunPayus. They're never allowed to get too comfortable. Demon wrestling back a kill. Opens up a route into cave. Chance at a safe bomb plant now. It will come down to whether or not Hunter can cover. They're thinking about leaving. It feels like it. They're all looking towards that Heaven side. Are they going to try and slink out here? Heavy God, gun on, can't get the shot off, and they are out of there.
Hunter has good timing. Hunter's pre-rotated. He might be able to stop this, start shifting soon, and suddenly FUT don't know he's already here.
Oh, there's the first. Can't find the second man. Cemetery with a must-win fight. Keeps this in check for FUT.
A nice try for Hunter. Felt like Heavy God had to take one with him there. Had the right gun for the job, the right read as well. FUT are trying to get cheeky in this game. They've already managed to succeed, breaking G2's money off of that force by putting them on full eco now. So FUT's chance to play their game in this series after a very oppressive overpass. It looks like they know that as well. Oh, timing. Just saw him. And FUT, very keen on this B site, you'll notice. But this round, nobody to stop them. Burning out all the prime positions with Molotovs on the anti-eco.
And you just heard that cave scaling Molly right to clear out the close position. Molly over towards long side as well, so the rotate's starting, but FUT are already in. Might look to do a boost around this smoke long side. You're just hoping for some chip damage here. If you're G2, it's a FUT round locked and loaded.
I like this deep smoke as well. Makes it harder for CTs to pop through. Boost less likely. And nothing here for G2. They just start pushing middle to get kills on the way out. SunPayus.
Don't do it again.
Not allowed to. Will be stopped. AK up for grabs. Missed shots. Jukes shooting the box, and they will find an AK on their escape. Can they save it?
Just 4 rounds in to this rematch. Nerds has already matched his performance from last time.
Ouch. Well, at least it's a good sign. He was excellent last map.
You want to tell yourself, last time FUT beat us, felt like we were playing 4v5. So how are they going to find a... Now it's looking to return to form.
It was also off the back of the CT side, which is obviously, you know, G2 didn't get much chance to play their defense because they won pistol and then immediately lost to the force buy. So now actually getting a gun round.
Let's see mid-take attempt. No, it's full blind. Jukes collects double entry out through middle. His death is fine. FUT are content with that. 4-on-3 secured. And they're going to try pick up the pace, headed towards A. SunPayus can hear these footsteps. He's been red hot to get this game going. Right position, right time for the Spaniard. Now needs to offer up the goods. Multi-kill required here if he is to stop the spillover. And is this really just a ruse? Because look at Krebeni. Look at the room that the captain of FUT has taken on the other end of the map. Lonks is just selling this. He's kept both players here. And with the backstab closing in, G2 don't know it, but they are living on borrowed time. Not even required. Lonks does it all alone.
What an excellent call here from Krebeni. He was in cave. They knew that was going to be a really obvious A push with SunPayus being in towards middle. They give away all the info. G2 full rotate as they really should, and Krebeni just takes that gap. None of this matters when Lonks goes on to find 3 kills in the bomb site. Excellent shutdown on his own. Really sells that fake. And it's G2 in a tailspin. Panic. Timeout comes in. And I see a lot of utility in what is just pistols here for G2. FUT have just been playing very grouped, right? Be it B hits up ramp with 3-4 players or straight out middle. So G2 hoping they can just blow up the pack. But the difference here between Ancient and Overpass is FUT have already looked way more comfortable in the mid-round.
Again, looking for this mid-skirmish. It feels important to G2 that they're able to kind of scare FUT out of running this time and time again. FUT are very keen to fight for the mid-control. They'll gladly get stuck in. And so you want to feel like you repel one of them, at least put the fear in it so they're not always going on these first timing mid-takes and winning them out. You at least denied the instant peak. Delayed mid-take on the cards. Demon with an entry. And mid-taken all the same. SunPayus floating around. His Deagle has been fantastic. His pistols across the board have looked good. Bit of aggression down towards the lane. FUT are teeing themselves up for an A play though, successfully dodging this stack.
Yeah, and Jukes knows they have lane, so he can just worry above him as well. Even with Miss Red Smoke, it's no problem. It's wasting SunPayus' time. A's getting taken. FUT should have already won this round. It's just how clean do they make it? Jukes is going to get pressured here. Nice tap right above. Cover there for the trade. And lock and key. FUT have got this round. Great resilience for a young team that definitely felt frustrated on Overpass. There are a lot of silly rounds, weird mistakes, anger in the comms. But they walk away and they completely reset here for this second map. A shocking 5v3 pistol thrown away by FUT, and now they're 5-1 up. You would never even know.
It's terrifying how comfortable they're looking on this T side, isn't it? Thinking back to that EPL run that really made you sit up and take note of FUT. This was actually a bit of a rough going map for them there. A couple of months ago, clearly put some time and effort into just getting it perfected, and now you get a real sense that everyone feels right at home on Ancient. They've only lost it once since that initial exchange back at EPL.
Oh, missed it.
Getting up into the B site in this round, there is still resistance.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Planting open for long. Heavy got allowed to make an incision. He'll find himself a double. On the back of that bomb plant. Demon a shot away from certain death, just hoping to stay alive long enough for Krebeni to play into this round. It's being considered. Spot there for Hunter, gets that info off. A clean finish out of G2, a massive B-hold for Heavy God.
Yeah, the key was playing retake on B. You saw how much util got thrown in by FUT there on that execute. All of it for nothing as G2 completely concede the bomb site. Nice setup, but where's the cover on the plant? Krebeni feels like, hey, I have a mid-timing flank here because we're getting no pressure on B, but if anything, it's the bomb plant that lets G2 back into the round, making Krebeni's flank worthless. Really awkward. Long completely open, punished from G2. Messi in middle, getting blocked on each other, but Krebeni still gets up heaven. Fast cave control with a 5v4 through the smoke.
Hunter maybe feeling a bit of a pull to try and go for the info here. He's aggressive in towards A main. For now, going to sit back, waiting for this T-side adjustment, but it's actually going to come from Red, this double up for G2 to try and gain some info back in the round. They're looking for the mid clear. Two players moving in. Long's dead right away. There's one more man at elbow, and this time Nerds able to get gun on in time. Heavy God scales in through the back line. It's another multi-kill for Heavy God as a one-man army arrives for G2.
What a beast. 4 beautiful headshots. Saves that spray as well down ramp. That last player is peeking right into him. Heavy God does not care. 13-5. Monster start to this map, and G2 need it. They were in the hole. Heavy God and Nerds lock out middle. And this is just clinical work from Heavy God. That will keep FUT doubting themselves a little bit on this heaven control. They've been going very fast into that position. My God, what a shot. They just keep coming. SunPayus' orb felled in main. And on eco, FUT get a little upgrade.
Yeah, the idea that they're now armed with 2 AKs and this AWP is terrifying. Sat pretty in a 5v4 as well. Juke's looking to put that AWP to work. It's again back in the middle. Spot there on Heavy God. He sticks around to try and fight this. This is a guy who's only dealt in 3 and 4s in the last 2 rounds of play. And so you know when he's on the ball with his first, that's the right time to stop. You don't try and go for that trade. You let him have the space. Mattis has been a real vulnerability thus far over towards Cave, and so again they're coming to pressure him. But this time he puts up a fight.
Now they can't go B. Luckily for them, Heavy God has left this position, reinforced this B side, but Donut completely open. FUT can just walk in. Oh, someone just shot Hunter. Now knows they're coming through Donut. No split to worry about. He can focus on this position.
telling him just please get one, because Heavy God, Mattis, the rest of the gang, they're all on their way over. Hunter with this swing, lines them up, and there's the shutdown. It's only this Jukes Orb left. Heavy God in position to stop him in his tracks, and that backstab connects on a perfect timing. 9 kills in the last 3 rounds for Heavy God.
Yeah, not even the plant here for FUT. It's going to pull the AWP into question on this T side as well. Good denial from Hunter, hides out in plain sight. And FUT timeout now as things are getting tricky. 3 rounds in a row for G2. Felt like we were ready to see a repeat of last game, that FUT stomp over Ancient. G2 are digging deep, and a couple of very strong players carrying them through. SunPayus' pistol impact, Heavy God in middle, and in your head.
Last time they played, the entire team sort of capitulated all at once. Sure, it was Nerds down bottom of the board, but it's not like anyone else had a fantastic game either. Losing that one really was a team effort for G2. Here, though, a hero emerges, and it is Heavy God being very, very active. As the game's gone on, he's no longer reserved to anchoring that B-bomb site. They're using him as a bit of a bandage to fix up this defense, and for now, it's working. For now, Heavy God is holding. But eventually, someone else has to arrive to help him. Can't all just be one man.
No mid control here for G2, and it looks like the right call because we've got late pop flashes out mid. FUT taking control. G2 have to accept that. AWP back on A, and pressure from Red, but it leaves Nerds alone, and he's already down to half from the nade, so this could be a vulnerability here for G2. Nerds tries to tuck in, Hunter baiting for him. Need that jiggle because they've walked into Red. SunPayus has it on lock. Oh, everything's going wrong for FUT, and look at the bomb. They may have position, but it is not safe. The reblock, just forcing them into B. Oh, everything has gone pear-shaped here for FUT, and that's their last bit of utility. They have a single flashbang to get them into this site. I don't see a way you win this. Even if you get these entries and put the bomb down, that post plant is going to be so tricky. It would be a good time to see G2 play retake setup, but they go double cave as well. AWP here in time.
Only the tag. Mattis can't finish the job. And so we're left looking at Heavy God having to provide for G2 once again. He's got 3 players coming his way out the cave side. Only the one from Heavy God. Quick trade. Hunter closing in. Demon on the line and not letting them through to begin this retake.
Oh, scary, but all eyes on and everyone swings together. FUT do get it over the line. G2, awkward timing, committing to cave like that, and only hitting the leg shot does come back to haunt them. Needed more from that hold. Because we've seen them play good retake B already. We've seen them with some, nice positions, so it would have been nice to see them completely give it up. FUT could never execute. They would have had really tricky fights coming out into B, but G2 don't know what they have. And so FUT win a crucial round to keep them in this game.
And FUT can kind of move the microscope of where they're homing in on in this game. Last time it was Nerds, a liability out towards middle. He's recovered. This time it's Mattis. Just been a huge problem at this B site. Struggled to get anything done. Oh, this round, up for recovery, controls the spray. Leaves G2 in a doable position.
Ollie, run.
Gotta get this bomb down while the util's up, and so Krebeni plugs in those numbers. No, it's a long way out for a backstab, and if you end up waiting for him and then he dies to Jukes back in cave, you've waited for nothing. So he's got to keep his wits about him as he embarks on this wrap round.
He's running it as well. Jukes has heard this coming. Nerds doesn't even clear the corner. That's a free kill, putting it in the 2v2. No util left in the round. It's coming down to the fight, and Krebeni has a powerful position. Sat on the site. He picks his timings, takes another. SunPayus not long for it either. So Krebeni drags him over the line. Captain shows up as he did last time on Ancient, and FUT find a 7-round half at worst case scenario, and it could get better. G2's money is out for the count. So beautiful spray from Matt is recovering on very blind players, but G2 have lost 2 really awkward man advantage rounds now in a row. And that will cost them. We know how solid FUT's defense is.
Just beelining straight for Donut, right into Nerds. SunPayus auto shotgun could be a big problem. Up close, it's done big damage. Now it's on a Hunter to finish what he started.
Oh, that smoke falls short.
That's actually going to smoke off the bomb. That could be used to help out FUT here. Chance to go on a retrieval mission as is his mad skirmish in around main.
Yep.
One shot from the Deagle does in Jugs. Heavy God hits his. Now it's on to Matt. It's been struggling in this game. A clutch to try and salvage a round for G2 right at the end of the half. The Demon's got time to work with that. That bomb is still in the open. And so right in to Mattis's hands. G2 able to get by with 5. Heavy God inspiring them a little, sitting top of the board, nearly 20 kills deep. But will that be enough to stop FUT on their map pick?
FUT find their footing by the end of their first half of Ancient. It's a solid start to this map, but they need more if they're going to go on and take the series. Mirage are decider. This is FUT's pick, and we saw an excellent CT side from them just the other day, a 9-round half over this very team. So what's to say that FUT can't finish the job? G2, some showings of brilliance from Heavy God and flashes from SunPayus, but not much consistency even in man advantages.
Yeah, that's the part that's going to hurt. The idea that you could have been the guys with a 1-out half if you didn't throw away those 2 big man advantage rounds right at the end of it.
Uh-oh.
Pressure put onto the cave side. Those Doolies dead the moment they round the corner. And so a 5v4 for G2. It's fresh in their mind that they can't let these type of rounds get away from them.
That felt pretty desperate there for FUT. Lonks trying to repeat, Krebeni doing the same. It's left them a man and a half down. And G2 smoke to get them into cave. It's now given them position to execute. Heavy God with all the nades outside B. Nerds on a late lurk. Reclear for FUT is a nice idea, but it could go very wrong. 3 crosshairs in position. Will they overcommit? Yes, Blanc's great cover. Uh-oh. This is the only way it can go wrong, and right now it's looking possible. Can Nerds find a gap to bring them back out?
Demon's gonna hear this. Nerds hasn't run yet over towards main, but you're not ready for Dooley sitting in back donut.
Oh.
Surely this is gonna get away from G2. An important pickup for SunPayus, but the rotates arrive now. SunPayus has a great pistol round under his belt already. Can he add another one to the tally? It's him and Heavy God, the 2 big boys left in it, and they will seal the deal on that pistol for G2.
I can't believe it even gets that close, but FUT are so fast to rotate. They even clear out the late recommit player in B. They try to lurk through cave after FUT leave the site. That's all over the place. FUT have everyone CT, but Glocks do dirty damage. And G2 do take another pistol. That is never the problem, though, in this game, in this map. Last 2 games winning, 3 games winning all 6 pistols, but not always converting them. Will this be the concern? Looks like it. Into the 5-man hold.
Oh, they're getting wrecked, going right into this B stack. 2 players down already. Heavy God might be required to try and bail them out again. Surely there's a limit to how many times one guy can stay the flash push. They all go. And with FUT fighting together at such an advantage, there was nowhere for G2 to hide.
So slapdash for G2. They're rushing cave off the first timing on an anti-eco against a team you know are going to force buy. Feels like G2 is just handing this round away. Just a bit more poise. It's fine to hit that B execute, but get your util in first. And FUT are able to just fly through those smokes in the advantage and press it further. G2, disastrous second round. I love that FUT continue to press it though. 5v3, charging through the smoke on the plant. Don't let G2 get anything out of this round. Just this saved AK. FUT pick up all the guns.
Feels like for G2, they might want to hear from Saw again. You heard him earlier on, right? Kind of saying, look, we don't have to play perfect CS. All that matters is that we do it together. In that round, they kind of did exactly that. The imperfect move, everyone grouped, hitting that B site. Ruins it for him. Game slipping away from G2. Eco, or Force rather, as they try and bounce back with one of their own, but going to be far harder pressed to do it on this T side. And yeah, there is Saw with that timeout on the back of the fall down to the Force.
Makes sense, but don't know how much strategy you can even employ in a round like this. Might be just trying to keep heads cool, because G2 have nothing to work with. Pistols and bare bones utility. As as FUT feel the success start early on this CT side despite pistol loss. FUT have been here before, they can remind themselves of that. Should be simple now to just clean up.
Demon ready to just drop in this molly. As soon as he sees a shadow, they give chase and get ahead of it. Important entry for Nerds. One kill wrestle back from the spawn side, and now a retake hoping to take shape. Low HP on Heavy God, so he's dead back in the donut. You'll get that bomb down, sure, but survive the post plant, you will not. Nerds getting pincered, can't do a thing. And FUT just move so decisively in these moments. They do it together, they keep the pressure on all sides. Reminiscent of that B-sided force where they just bomb rush the smokes and shut G2 out of it.
Yeah, if they have an advantage, they want a bigger advantage. They are the least scared of going through smokes, pushing utility, and doing it together. Never doubting the calls. That's what's always entertaining about this team. So often do you see one player go for a swing, but then their teammate isn't sure, they don't want to trade, they want to bait a bit. FUT don't do that. They will live and die together. It's why we see such one-sided games for and against them. It either works or it doesn't. And when it works hard. FUT smashing G2 now at the start of this second half. Hero AK for Nerds.
SunPayus has earned a bit of respect for these pistols, so they hear it firing off down there in mid, but want nothing to do with it. How all these deagles, all these pistols spamming, trying to conceal the idea that there's a hero gun even in play here. That's the unorthodox move for G2, having this rifle in the hands of Nerds.
Ouch. One armor as well. Nerds has to keep hold of this AK, doesn't clear his corner. There's the re-swing. Just mopped up. Cave is closed and 20 seconds for G2 to die. FUT give them nothing. Full blind, 3 rifles spray. It's a great flash, but no kills come behind it. Hunter traded and FUT clean up.
This matchup on this map is proving to be a bit of a kryptonite for G2. Saw him square off against the Falcons the other day. Sure, it was a map that ended up getting away from them. But this is now twice over in this head-to-head. Nerds has really struggled. Mattis not really getting going either. Just seeming like a strong matchup for FUT on Ancient. Compare that to the Falcons game where Nerds finished top of the board for G2.
G2 found the gap here. They've walked silent out mid to Donut. Demon's looking at it, but they're all coming around this corner. Demon, massive kill, even blocks, won't let them trade this for free, but Hunter does catch him on the edge of the molly. 4v4 and G2 with all this space looking to use it. Just holding on, won't let them scale. A hit coming in.
Symmetry on the line, and that orb, unforgiving, won't let the main split come through. They know where Hunter was. They know that bomb is dropped out in the open at main. And they're going to start closing in on him. He's going to face the same death that G2 have many times over. Just one player up against insurmountable odds, getting rushed from all sides.
Clinical CT side here out of FUT. It's getting slower, it's getting more cautious as well from G2. FUT are fine by that, even though gaps are taken. No one overlooks them. And much as how this half started, it feels like FUT are in the right place every single time. G2 even half buying here up against 11, wanting to maximize their gun rounds. Duke's committing to middle, careful, but they could just run right by. Oh.
Backstab, Hunter trading one back. Won't get the gun out in time to capitalize on all the damage done to Lonks. And that leaves Heavy God at 1v3. Bomb out in the open. Smoke about to bloom. Tries to peek ahead of it. And that's exactly what FUT were waiting for. Domination on this CT half. Again, a map of Ancient for G2 where you say they won both pistols. They converted neither of them and then proceeded to just get blown out the water. This is becoming a worrying trend.
Yeah, against the Falcons, they at least converted their pistols on this map, which may be why the game was so close. It was just finishing the job they couldn't do. Well, this is what happens when you don't even have those conversions. A straight domination. Streaks of 5 at the start of each half after losing the pistol for FUT. And it might be all over off the back of this bomb play up ramp 4v5. FUT again, know the gap. Not worried, Flash peeking together, everybody coming in for the trade. Rifle here, trying to keep this game alive, but SunPayus can't give up the bomb. Krabeni's walking through a smoke, so no respect left in the map for FUT. And Duke spotted him there, that goes both ways.
What I think's interesting here, they see the bomb on SunPayus, they see him waiting behind that ramp smoke, they knew about players out over towards middle, or heaven rather, and they don't jump the gun on a rotate. Even now, Symmetry's still holding for a desperate fallback. You feel like you have all the info needed to have brought everyone over to B. But they're thinking, well, G2 are desperate. This game has not been comfortable. This T-side could do anything in an instant, trying to change their mind. And so just covering that back door, leaving options open. But G2 don't look to change their mind. They're going to stick to their guns here. It started off as a B hit. It's ending as a B hit. Jugs, top performer, 4 FUT, lies in wait.
Couple shots can close this map with ease. He connects the first, 3rd kill in the round, and Nertz is alone. He's had a hard game here on Ancient. The flank closing in. Bomb going to get planted, but Symmetry, unrelenting, has just moved forward the entire time, and FUT will finish what they started with ease on this CT side, shutting out G2 and demanding a decider in this repeat matchup. Last time, FUT took it on Ancient just as dominantly, and now we get a new map in this series.
Head of this new addition to the matchup.
Feels like a perfect 3rd map decider, right? G2 learned their lesson from Ancient, not letting it float out to the 3rd. At least FUT just get it out of the way. Both these teams win their map pick, and now we go to a map that they've both played plenty of times this year. It's a decent success as well, both in the positive win rates. Both teams looking confident as we get into Mirage.
Remind yourself about the focus points, guys. Good start. Good start.
G2CS.
With energy, with initiative, communication. We need confidence, guys.
We do.
Don't let this Ancient take your confidence.
G2 looking to reset after getting shut out of last map. Nertz, nice crawl underneath. They still clear him though. Flash comes in, Nertz is ahead of it. It's going to get messy.
And he's now giving chase. Knows about one player trapped underneath the palace. They'll even move to try and clear Symmetry. Gets out with his double. Can't make it any more than that. Pistols run down the A-bomb site, and now it's just Demon. Dorperetta's out towards the spawn. Caught peeking wide, but goes unpunished. Won't be able to stop that bomb plant. Missed opportunity at bringing this into a 1v2. The G2 just try and face him together here. Waiting for contact to get taken. been given some room to work with. No swing yet. Dink down range. Heavy guard finishes the job. G2 winning pistols is a familiarity. Converting them is a whole other conversation.
Yeah, and it's a negative conversation. G2 win both pistols back on Ancient. They just get absolutely knocked out in the second. It's been a problem for them. Weird enough with how clean these pistols are, running into stacks and just getting it done. It's a nice round out of G2, but here comes the buy. Scout in the window. 4 rifles for G2, and the difference is just stop rushing it on this T side. So nice to see them spread out and play default. They have weapon advantage. They're going to get a lot of map control as a result. Mid not being threatened by FUT. Mattis can go where he wants. A execute on the cards. Jukes can block.
And they don't have an HE to break it, so this is actually a big block for Jukes.
It's actually nice that at least Hunter got that smoke out of him before SunPayus threw the exec. So G2 can wait 20 seconds, one guy making noise. FUT don't really know much. They bought a few seconds short, but no one's moved.
A re-smoke.
And now that's a problem. G2 though, they're committed. They just have to wait and pray. And that freedom gives the rotation time. Snares Molly. Here they go.
Just a blanket of fire to clear anyone playing close to this ramp smoke. Opening kill belongs to Symmetry.
No.
The trade's back for G2 as this one is a roller coaster of a round. Heavy guard doesn't know where to look. He's getting whittled down from both sides, and the Symmetry scout provides the cover. Another disaster versus this force for G2.
A familiar, painful feeling here for G2. And hey, the difference is they went for the execute. They threw everything in. They had mollies perfectly placed. G2 even found the mid kills, but it's Symmetry scout back in spawn that just picks bodies out. 3 kills from the sniper. Can't account for that. G2 just wondering how they can get a break. Let's look at Symmetry's 3 perfect headshots coming in to find that force for FUT.
Mid-brawl. Tech9 opens Mattis. Trying to go and snatch a force by their own for a change. That's a keen double kill, but the job's not done. Heavy God tries to make it so. And that's the round. G2 do enough. 3 sets of entries, seconds apart. It's a game, set, and match. Hopefully this can be the return to a bit of form for Mattis. Really struggled to get going on the second map. Ancient, they were exploiting him a hell of a lot over towards the cave, but he's just brought G2 back into the early game with that double opener on the Tech9.
We can do it too, say G2. Going to keep this riff-raff going on. So back and forth early in this third map. Just what we wanted here. As FUT forced to buy back in. Crazy to imagine those are Tech9 headshots from that far. And Heavy God, perfect swing out of Palace to confirm the round when Mattis gets that info. G2 maybe thinking, screw it, let's just bring the pace. Looking to once again abuse this A site.
I mean, it's nearly a carbon copy setup for FUT. Players aggressive over towards ramp, smokes to try and block this angle, and a triple B setup. G2 weren't able to deal with this last time around. How are they going to fare this time?
Again, no nade. But that lurk smoke lets you up Tetris at least. Will G2 take that path? They just fly out of Palace. Scout is a little late to the party here. And player hiding in the site, they don't know. Checked, good check. Saves G2 from devastation. And it should just be fine now. Dumping everything they've got in spawn.
Well, he fell a little short to actually block Symmetry in there. Allows him to peek over the top. Pick up for Longs. This is starting to get away from them. It takes Heavy God to restore some normality.
He could have punished the plant. Now his opportunity's gone.
As Longs plays it forward. No idea where SunPayus has gotten to, but now he's got that info. Longs unable to finish. Heavy God, monstrous 3K and a hulking individual effort. G2 with their conversion. Better late than never.
Heavy God's had some incredible rounds across this series, so it's reassuring to see he keeps them in this. Would have been more back and forth at the start of this map if Heavy God doesn't win that clutch. 6-0 at the start of Mirage. And a frustrating round to lose because FUT would have happily kept that ping pong going. But now G2 get the opportunity to run away on the T side. And FUT, after all these A attacks, are just going to gamble it. G2 might meet them there.
Heard them flash into the ramp, so you're expecting resistance here. Not a position that's going to get overlooked with Heavy God out of Palace. And the man that does have the element of surprise is Symmetry, but he's 1v5 with a USP behind enemy lines.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Takes his time, deals with Nerds. Hunter is swift to deal with him. 4-1 lead, guns on the approach now for FUT. Symmetry Orb coming out straight away, had that phenomenal scout round in the second. Now upgraded onto the big green, sitting at the top of the board for FUT.
Yeah, zooming out and looking at the tournament as a whole, it'd be a real shame to see FUT down 0-2. Obviously, one of these teams is going to be there, but this is a team that many had high expectations of at the major, peaking at the right time, coming off of trophies this year, leveling up, graduating these young players, and widening their map pool while they do it. So to imagine that they could be down 0-2 because of vitality, and then G2 in a revenge matchup would be a real shame for FUT. But someone's got to lose. And at that point, would have to show some serious resilience in battling back if they still want playoffs. With 3 BO3s in a row.
And I think for a squad who embrace chaos and aggression the way FUT do, that is the most dreaded position to be in. You feel a lot more restricted down in that 0-2 matchup.
Yeah, is that where the pressure hits? You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to play your game. You start doubting things because it hasn't worked, but they played the world's best team. It's not been an easy run here for FUT. It's also not over. CT side of Mirage. Just got to be careful, caught in the open. Heavy God even turns back for the second on the bench. High damage done, puts Demon in danger. Krabeni comes in to assist. Demon still holding position, but mollied out, low health, no ammo, and nowhere to go. A 2v2 ensues. G2 need to get that bomb.
Nerds is coming in on a big flank. If Mattis can stay alive, Nerds can try and win this round with the backstab. You won't be expecting this. Just going to take his one while it's available. Jukes, what's it going to be? Going to try find this window to battle forward, maybe. Bomb still out in the open. Nerds, he heard him land the cat jump, knows that both players now have to cross into this bomb site.
He lets him.
Gonna wait for that bomb plant, but Nerds on the line, on the angle. Him and Mattis able to keep that one in check for G2.
Yeah, what a nice play for Nerds. Sneaky right behind, doesn't overplay it, still groups with his teammate to play that package. They had very low time, and any error would give that round to FUT. Demon, admirable hold. But G2 throw everything they've got at him. A couple of players caught out of position in the CT side so far are FUT as G2 keep changing the pace. Hunter calling a great game. When you consider they did, again, lose to the Force Buy, still G2 are up 5-1. Now that's not a bad timing for Krebeni.
Hunter surely dead to this. No, Krebeni not looking.
Oh.
So Hunter able to sniff him out. Felt like he found the golden timing window out through that abs push. They lose their captain very early in the round, and now it is just this A stack for FUT.
You just feel forced to play these stacks because how many rounds G2 have come to this bomb site. But Hunter still pushing the boat out after Krebeni's info play in abs. Not overcommitting. And in fact, G2, they want to keep doing what's been working, which is back into this A site.
I mean, you see a guy pushing like that through the apartments, you're thinking, no way they risk this if he's the solo B player. And so are going to commit into the stack unknowingly. Spot for Heavy God as they try and challenge him. Knows he's got to steal himself away because these pistols are closing in. He tries to play the range game. One more man up here in Palace, and the flash is good. Heavy God quick on his feet there. AK picked up for Cemetery. But with Lonks dead, they're closing in on this lone defender. Massis able to bail them out, giving us a far better game come the turn of Mirage.
Yeah, he stepped up on this scoreboard, hasn't he? Even exceeding Heavy God on the T side now, finding a lot of impact. Won that force right back on the Tech 9s out middle. Has been a nuisance and connector on this T side. Great to see in this deciding map. And Heavy God, all the pressure, it's not pretty, but he has no time for it to be pretty. Just dumps a molly, dumps a flash, makes FUT very uncomfortable on that Palace push. Shame to see. If FUT had a little bit more patience, they might have been able to find something. Instead, this gun round is everything for FUT. First timeout from Coolio.
So are you saying, Dima, speak something, bro? We are not playing CCT. No, you didn't see anyone. And I say, are you sure too? You don't say 5 seconds. Speak for 5 seconds if you want to play.
Krebeni demanding a lot from his team in this series. In some frustrating lost rounds, dating back to Overpass.
I mean, yeah, you played a great game on Ancient. You want to get back to that. You don't want to feel like this third map came down to some slow starts, some missed comms, players going quiet at the worst possible time. Oh! That's an opening and a half. Demon, after getting chewed out, gets spat out by SunPayus.
And what's he meant to say after that?
One apps. That's the calm down the line.
Ouch. No info either. FUT are playing in the dark. And G2 encroaching on this bomb site. Even the nade finds nothing. They spot con. They don't see the G2 are right there ready to pounce. But jump up denied. Krebeni keeps it interesting. Oh, they're just walking in. G2 hit the wall. And it's got hands. SunPayus 5v4 for nothing. But it's nice to see FUT not going down without a fight left in this half. Opportunity to keep it even.
Yeah, you got to make something of this, right? Getting out with 4 players alive, all well and good, makes you a little bit harder to dislodge on this CT half. Start to build up the framework for a comeback and making some money. You're just glad you've stopped the streak at this point. 5 in a row for the G2 squad. Finally, a response out of FUT, and they do so in a 4v5. They do so a man down. So I think a good bit to feel good about there if you're the FUT squad, but this is where the CT side has to start building. That can't just be a one and done. It's a team full of major rookies. Now with the most experience is Lonks.
It's been 4 years since he played a major.
So you don't want to find yourself with your backs against the wall for the rest of your run, especially when there were expectations on this team. It's rare that a kind of rookie squad come into their first major with this much attention.
What a baller move for Heavy God. It's a great reaction to hit all the util mid. They realize that FUT are going for the mid take, and Heavy God just takes the space. He takes the face off 2 players in this site. He has won the round with this hero play, so much so that Hunter is lurking B-apps. G2 suffering from success.
Yeah, out of desperation here, though, FUT are going to hang around, and this lurk, player being away from the action, maybe gives rise to something. Mattis in a fight out here in middle wins his.
G2 can slow down. They don't need to commit the bomb. They've actually lost the A site in the process, so Hunter taking this apps control is massive. It provides a route for the bomb to rotate round. Mattis might get caught on this timing and window, but he lives the fight.
I wonder if you're going to think that that's the player meant to hold on to B, though. You see Mattis in the window, you completely overlook Hunter. And they know that Symmetry AWP was out towards CT. So Hunter just drops this smoke, the final middle finger in a round that G2 nearly threw away.
I just love that from Hunter. The gap taken, it was... Oh, okay. Maybe we're on. But Symmetry doesn't like his odds, and yeah, Mattis has window locked off. Should be a definite walking, but we're back on indeed. Smoke kit, Symmetry too deep, and Hunter could be anywhere. Will he clear his corners? Symmetry runs in loud about this position, forcing the repeat, but Hunter hits the headshot and absolutely saves this round for G2.
You'll see no celebrations at the end of that one from Hunter or the G2 squad, though. Never needed to get that close. That's what they're telling themselves.
But it's Hunter who's on a backstab to stop the save more than anything is what gives the doorway back to G2. They lost everyone in that A site after Heavy God finds a 5v3. So Hunter gives them an option and goes on to win out that clutch. A nice try for Symmetry, but G2 playing fast and loose. Oh, careful. AWP was found in window 2. Mattis is up short.
They lose Heavy God out of the apartments. That's going to bring the bomb back round towards this B site, and everyone just falls seconds apart. G2 go from being in a doable position to a sudden, abrupt 2v4 attempt.
Yeah, they almost win 3 fights, but that doesn't cut it. 3 players sub 50.
Have done a lot of damage. It's not the most impossible 2v4 you've ever seen. It's the presence of Jukes very far forward in Palace. That could come as a bit of a surprise. Heavy God was cleaned up in this position.
Do you clear this?
So Hunter will be checking his corners, but this is a tight angle, a tight fight. Hunter had gun on, but Jukes is just quicker off the trigger.
Yeah, G2 maybe around where they feel a little bit looser because they get the AWP in window and everyone feels like they have more space. Heavy God walks out the Palace smoke, falls in the A site. Matt is awkward timing up Cat after finding the 5v4. Player walks out Tetris, they die. Everything kind of comes unraveled here for G2. So maybe a slap on the wrist, maybe a timeout from Saw, not to overplay these situations, because Mattis gave them a great opportunity, and G2 throw it away. Careful. After time, no. Demon still gets that AK, though, and FUT have armed themselves to recover on this late CT side.
Yeah, I think if you're G2 now, the objective is just don't let them in. Don't let that required clutch from Hunter, the 3v1 you nearly throw away into this, failed 5v4. Don't let it get in your head or change what's been working in this game. The last thing you want is for FUT to be looking so downtrodden. There's all this inner conflict on the team, and then they break away with a couple of rounds at the end of the half to give themselves something to fight for. It's a partial buy from G2 as finally their money reaches its limits. Eyes set on a fast A play. Util to bring them in. Symmetry AWP has missed the timing. They're already up in the bomb site itself. Spam does good damage, but doesn't find a kill. It's Symmetry's AWP. First incision. There's a follow-up. Nerds battling forward. Wasn't accounting, wasn't banking on 2 players back in the spawn.
And not falling for this. And so they don't. It's rounds like that where the first entry is so integral for the T side if they're going to win it. They need to get that 5v4, get armed, get further position, but not able to break into spawn. Symmetry holds very strong indeed. So here we go, last round of the half. G2 trying to put a bow on it. FUT just trying to survive. Pace out middle for Mattis. He has been non-stop in this position. And on the break, they don't see him either. Trying to set Mattis up to force another opener. Heavy got reactive in Palace. G2 slow under. And all in the meantime, that all back a ticket. Compete connector at a moment's notice.
As you get this mid control, you want to go back and get this bomb, just so you have the option to pick up the pace if you get these opening kills.
Uh-oh.
Molly at least keeps mid in check. Oh, spam onto Mattis is how the opening kill is found for FUT, and now they're going to start aggressing into mid on the back of it. A probe from short. Now it's her down there in lower. They're expecting a duel for this mid control. Nertz is a dead man as he tries to scale into the window. SunPayus clawing back one, but it's a losing battle out here in mid. Molly forcing a reaction, forcing a swing. Bomb still lost out in top middle. 30 seconds left as SunPayus makes a mad dash for it. Double swung and a put down from FUT as they chain together a final stretch of 3 on this CT side. They are no longer without hope on this deciding map of Mirage.
once again. The first base is a Dren. He's going to hit the ground there. Cole. Oh, what a jumping double from Cole! What is going on right now? How does he do this? Cole is saved Luminosity with the all-play.
G2 leveling up here on this third deciding match. A 0-1 game between FUT and G2. Neither of these teams feeling like they deserve to go down to the bottom of the barrel, but one will sink and one will swim come the end of Mirage. 7-5 half. See these pistol woes continue for FUT. Not being able to win them, only being able to win forces. It's a curse. And this time G2 at least took a streak after that. Can FUT finally break in with a pistol round win? Because they need it.
High-low CT setup. Heavy God and SunPayus, two heroes of pistol rounds gone by. They're the two you're running into here. Util reining in. Not going to cut off too many eyeballs from this A play as the CT players get all the fights they're looking for and then some. G2 barreling through these defensive smokes and they shut FUT out of that pistol convincingly.
It's a nice position from SunPayus because he has his head blocked by the top of Ticket, but also those flashes completely miss him as a result. They're off his screen. So SunPayus, easy double. He has been the pistol man today. Shut down on this CT side as FUT come in with a force buy, and there's not even a bomb plant behind it. This is going to be difficult.
We all know really this comes down to G2. Do they want to try and do this the easy way or the hard way?
Yeah, it's up to them.
Slow mid-take for FUT. Flash primed, bound for the connector.
Oh, short flash will get them into window. No, it's if he's ready for one, short. Is he ready for two? This is a pocket strap for FUT. Let's see what they're cooking on this B hit. Who plays first? Oh, well, they spot it now. G2 know what's coming.
Oh, Matt is dead on that swing. Hunter, the only hope, and he's overran. Krabeni midair on the Tech-9 nails it.
Okay, yeah, you can say it's down to G2, but I gotta say, I really like that second round for FUT. That is so naughty. They do everything very purposefully. Getting a player, two players into window, boosting ladder without short control so they can B split. I will say Mattis swinging out feels wholly unnecessary, but G2 are feeling the pressure of that short split, maybe expecting FUT would be closer and hoping Heavy God baiting for him or the B player baiting for him was going to be enough. But none of it works here for G2, and FUT's force comes up with an easy round. No matter how you slice it, G2 suck at these second rounds. Mid-air.
That's going to trigger the timeout for G2.
First one.
Because you've got to be getting frustrated at this now, right? You're making a very, what could have been an easy task, a sprint towards the finish line here. You've made it that much harder for yourselves and letting multiple of these pistols slip away from you. Or the conversions, rather. Hunter's always been a captain to put a lot of emphasis on there. I think every IGL does, but there's so much stock in those rounds, and winning it is supposed to guarantee you a good start. The fact that 4 times in a row they've won pistol and lost to the Force. Sure, they course-corrected one of them here in that first half of Mirage, but now they're tasked with doing it all over again. you end up losing this series, they're the rounds you're going to think back to.
Straight up A execute with no lurkers. No way for G2 to pick up 3 guns. Just Heavy God here. He's got the rifle at least, but what can one man do under balcony? Rough. Full blind. Dropped on. Denied.
So that's it. You call the save. You try and operate with this force buy again in the next. It's a 1-round game. Only thing standing between you and FUT tying it up is 2 5.7s, an MP9, and a scout on SunPayus. It's not even like there's loads of bells and whistles on that round. It's just an A set piece, dodging the stack. FUT never even investigated the other half of the map. It was just their go-to call out of spawn, go and exec into A.
Terrorists win. Stalemate for G2. Gonna try and do it again. Try and get the right gamble. That is the hope in a round like this. The FUT just come charging into your 4-man bomb site.
There are some mind games at play here, right? FUT know you just stacked B. They know that's why they didn't find anyone else on that A play. So what's it going to be in this round? You know, do you adjust to what you just learned? I think for FUT this time they're aware there's going to have to be a bit more pushing and prodding before they pick an end destination. As again, Heavy God are left alone over at the A site, and that quad B stack is ran back by G2.
All right, why not? So it'd be a very impressive round for FUT to win. Scout needs to hit some tags here from the bench. They've gotten awfully close without Mattis connecting info on the jump spot. Execute getting thrown in on the other side of the map. Do G2 waver, or do they hold position?
They don't move a muscle. Heavy God put the fear in Krebeni, just sprinting a little out towards the apartments. Krebeni's trying to keep a back door open here. Make this feel like a bad A fake. In reality, he's walked all the way out, and he's going to catch Heavy God. That is so smart from Krebeni.
What a check.
And now he's called the rest of the troops back. Hunter out on the catwalk as a teammate with him to try and turn the tide in this round. Lork shuts them both out of it. And so FUT saved themselves. They were going to walk right into that stack, but Krebeni never bought it, not for a second.
This guy calls blinders. I love the layers to that. A, smoke, execute, hoping that either keeps a stack in A and he goes in, dies, sees multiple players, sends his team into B. Meanwhile, FUT are throwing B nades to make it look like the B hit, but then they bail, keeping G2 in the wrong place, and as soon as G2 realize it's too late, they're already up connector looking for fights.
And dude, you know, we talked about the mind games of these type of rounds. Heavy God was trying to wage more of them. He'd pushed all the way through Palace, and when he hears that util, he actually starts running the flank, making it seem like they pushed all the way up. Krebeni, though, in the instant he hears those footsteps, just calls his bluff, doesn't believe it for even a second that there's multiple players. And then ends up getting that timing, gets past Heavy God and holds him on the fullback. That was just so masterfully handled by FUT's captain.
Yeah, really enjoying watching this guy play, not just because he calls a great game, but he is super sharp on these T sides as well. Not shy of talent is this FUT team. And from 7-5 down, 8-5 with the pistol, FUT have pulled their way back up in this game. G2 with limited util want to fight together. But FUT are being awfully quiet. G2 aren't sure yet what that could mean. They look eager to get involved.
Aggro, well timed on this mid push. Now they uncover the truth of this round, and Mattis, big damage, makes life easy for Hunter on this rotation. Quite the way to find yourself back in this game. A 4 alive round after a shutdown of this B split.
Yeah, G2 patience there, really well timed on the mid push. They do it right as FUT are throwing in smokes to window and con. So nades are in hand, players aren't ready for fights. 2 at once. Really good timing for G2. 5v3, and they make no meal of that B hold. Set call doesn't work here for FUT, so Coolio again comes in.
Not a team to mince words. He's been hearing some of these frustrations, but now recognizing the spot that they're in, the idea that this is doable, feels like now is the time to weigh in. Still only a round apart. Still achievable for FUT. So moving away from the set pieces, this time attention on these mid fights. 2 players out there in top middle, 2 more walking in through lower. They see nothing on their check and they move out of there. They're posturing like they wanted to go for that mid hit. And is it really just going to be a set-piece finish in towards this A bomb site? There's 4 players leaning in this direction for G2, 2 in the site itself. Nerds floating around at the connector, and then you've got Hunter keeping his eyes on mid and this window position. This is going to feel like a real uphill battle.
Smoke's a problem. They do have nades to break. Got to do that if they want to keep their timing of this execute. Molly lands in front. G2 doing everything they can to buy time to burn this out. SunPayus has an angle, can't connect the headshot. It's Heavy God who has too many targets on his screen. Longs gets in deep. Nerd's gonna try and make a hero play, but through the smoke, his head pops out. FUT put him down, as well as the bomb with spawn control. They are in a powerful position now.
Mattis has flashes, but it all comes down to whether or not they get this kill at CT. Longs actually starts to give up the space. Flash goes in, but that Molotov stops the peek from Hunter, and with it stops the retake in its tracks. But with a breakthrough. A simple one into this A split. Doing it together and able to out crossfire G2.
Yeah, we're back to Nerds having another rough map here and at the worst possible time in this decider. Much as he did on Ancient, the last time these 2 teams played, he had a decent enough series, but just disappeared come that 3rd and final map. Look at this, just poking through the smoke, gives it up completely. That was the 3v3. And his death put FUT in advantage, put G2 on the save. Not the best time to go missing here. G2 need him now.
Not at all. And I mean, he's got a very important part to play in this CT side. You feel like you can't do it if he's having a rough game. He's going to be the guy taking a lot of these mid engagements, floating around the connector, first responder when the A players need help. You can't have Nerds feeling like he's struggling, feeling like he's destined to lose these fights even before he takes them. It's such a key part of the map that he's responsible for.
Didn't even get the fight that time. Nerds looking for it, break on window, but FUT are in no hurry again, waiting for that under control. Missed block, but not much you can do about FUT's control right now. Middle is lost. G2 hedging their bets on this A site. They might be onto something.
I mean, usually if you lose control over middle, you make a play for the extremities. G2 just aren't in a position to do that. Instead, it's a bit more of a gamble in this round. Just 4 players in the site, hiding out, hoping that FUT play into the stack. There's a catch for Hunter. Nerds with one more, does his part in the round. Not able to stop the rest of FUT getting out through Con. Mattis remains tucked. He's the Joker, the man that might get overlooked. Has a lot to do there and only gets out with one of them. SunPayus up next, and he nails it. Him and Heavy God have been the big threats here for G2, and they will combine for a winning round.
Finally, SunPayus gets to play into this, right? With all these execute heavy rounds, he's just been locked behind utility for most of the half, so gets a big opportunity and does not miss it. G2, a much needed round to keep trading them back and forth here on this CT side. A B player does definitely catch FUT off guard, hiding out on default on A. But it's the AWP to close out and Coach to come in for the final time here for FUT, their last time out of regulation. This is a very tense game with everything on the line.
I mean, I think Coolio knows that really this is where this game could be won or lost. Because G2 have been getting diminishing returns from trading these rounds back and forth. Their money has started to become an issue. Same can be said for FUT, and this late in the day, having your money broken can decide games.
Yeah, we put FUT 12-9 down if they lose this round, more than likely, unless they decide to reforce to punish G2. And if I know FUT, they would likely do that. So here we go. This is what it all comes down to for FUT to stay in this series.
Again, the slow presence out towards mid. Seen them do this in times gone by and then just completely fall back, giving it up, letting the paranoia do the work for them. But this time it looks like they want to follow through with this control. Re-smoke in the window. Two players at lower. Not uncommon to see them go for this boost up into the window. It's been a backbone strap for FUT in a couple of these T rounds. And so in goes Demon. Nerds eyes on at the connector, dead right away.
What?
And so there's your opener. There's your 5v4. Missed shot from SunPayus, and with it the chance to equalize. Feeling some pressure, tries to throw himself back in for another. And here with Heavy God, that crossfire proven to be too strong. These two individuals doing all they can to keep G2 in this round. Demon, the guy boosted in the window, having to be loud on this approach, and Heavy God moves in to silence him. With their demons exercised, it leaves it on Symmetry. Scope heard at the top of the stairs, and now they know. Wits about them here, just tucked in, playing around that bomb. Not wanting to give any line to this AWP. SunPayus fires off one. But Symmetry's looking for Heavy God, looking for that lone rifle. And Heavy God with a Hulk in 4K. That is massive work to break FUT's money and put G2 on a fast track to match in series point.
He just doesn't stop this guy. Heavy God damn, another multi-kill to keep G2 in the lead, to keep them in this matchup. Him and SunPayus have been so paramount in this series. A huge step up from Heavy God here, right when FUT are coming in with the advantage. It was a brutal entry onto Nerds. Felt like that would have killed G2 right then and there, but look at what FUT are left with. Absolutely nothing. They don't force up. They play for later. They hand over match points.
And here's the thing. G2 don't exactly have a fantastic track record up against the Pistols, but this is one that you shouldn't have to worry about. Heavy God, aggression in the top mid. And that is very, very quickly unraveled where this play was hoping to end up. Stack here in at the B site. And so the rest should just be a formality. Locking out these Pistols, leaving it to a streak of 3 needed to force overtime for FUT.
Yeah, it really hurts for FUT, who back and forth for a few rounds, had G2 on the ropes, had the chance to break the money, had the 5v4. Now they lose it. Now G2 are buying up for the rest of this regulation. FUT just have to win 3 straight gun rounds to stay in this game. G2 in the perfect position to close this out. We know they've had trouble in some of these matches. They did against Falcons yesterday, but this one feels tailor-made for G2. Even with Nerds going absolutely missing in this third map, G2 still have the firepower to get them there. Grabeni faking mid, putting a lot of pressure on, but G2 have swung through these smokes. They've cleared this out entirely. They know it's a fake. Even Mattis is rotating. They leave SunPayus on the B bomb site and back to Mattis, gambling in stack.
Makes it out onto triple. You've heard a lot of players in mid. It could lead you to overlook this position. And so Mattis in place to try and rip this away from FUT at the 11th hour. Set up with that flash from SunPayus. And oh, how quickly it all comes unraveled. Demon does what he can, but he's fighting a losing battle, surrounded by G2. And what a performance this was. Heavy God keeping them in it throughout this series. Him and SunPayus emerge as MVPs at the end of this one. Every step of the way, every round that looked to elude G2,